Support for Radio Friends comes from La Brunerie Financial, where they work to ensure a lifetime of financial security for people from all walks of life, from investment services to retirement plans. If you're looking for a trustworthy company that has the experience and knowledge to put your interests first, contact La Brunerie Financial, a community-based investment counseling firm since 1966. Learn more at labrunerie.com or by calling 573-449-5313. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on this Monday, January the 15th, Martin Luther King Day. And I've got two guests here today. They're going to talk about some of the events that will be going on during Martin Luther King Day. I want to introduce you to the two co-chairs of the Martin Luther King Celebration Planning Committee, right? Mm-hmm. And I have Stephanie Shonekan and Brian Booton. Yes. Welcome, both of you, to Radio Friends.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, this is a celebration that has been going on in Columbia for many, many years, so it has become somewhat of a tradition here. What do we have this year to look forward to?
So as we do every year, we're excited to have two events. One will be today, because it's Martin Luther King Day. We will be partnering once again with Ragtag to screen a free screening of a film called Harvest of Empire, which is a wonderful film about immigration in the United States as a way of getting ready for our big event, which will be on January 22nd, a week after today, where we will be having our featured speaker, Junot Díaz, who is a Pulitzer Prize winner and who is an activist and who talks a lot about the importance of looking and thinking critically about immigration in the United States.
Mm-hmm. When you talk about immigration, I think a lot of people do not stop to think about the fact that our families all immigrated to this country.
Absolutely.
We are not native in this country unless you were a Native American that was born here.
Right.
But we have all immigrated. I know my parents immigrated here many years ago from Sicily. So I'm first generation born here. All of us are immigrants, and that's why it's so important to talk about that, and we need to realize it. We're immigrants here.
Yes.
So the film, tell me a little bit about the film.
Sure. So the film is called Harvest of Empire, and in this film, which was made based on the book that was written by Juan Gonzalez, who is of a radio show called Democracy Now!
Yeah.
So Juan Gonzalez wrote a book about how what we're seeing in terms of immigration in this country has a lot to do with U.S. foreign policy in Latin America. So what we're harvesting in the United States is a harvesting of people, right, who have migrated here because of instability that was sown into countries in Latin America. That's the premise of the book. And so the film is kind of looking at the Dominican Republic, Mexico, Cuba, El Salvador, and of course there was news recently about new policies about regarding immigrants from El Salvador in the United States. So this is very timely that we're showing this film today. It allows us to really think about immigration, and we know that Martin Luther King and his legacy were encompassing of these issues, workers' rights, immigration rights, the rights of all of us as Americans, as human beings.
Right.
So it's a great film.
Is it only one screening, or will there be
one screening?
One screening at what time?
At 1 p.m.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. It's a free screening. If you would like to come to that event, please pick up your tickets at Ragtag that morning, I believe.
Okay.
And you will see the film. It's an excellent film, as well as a discussion afterwards.
Yeah, and if you do want to see it, I would recommend that you get there early, because Ragtag does not have that many seats. I would imagine it's going to be in the big theater at Ragtag. Okay. All right. Then a week from Martin Luther King Day, you have another event going on, right? You want to tell us about that, Brian?
Yes, that, as Stephanie mentioned, that is Junot Díaz, and he is a Pulitzer Prize-winning author, and that will be at 7 p.m. at Jesse Auditorium. Tickets are also free for that, and those can be picked up at the MSA GBC box office on campus. You can pick them up at the Missouri Theater, or you can get them through Ticketmaster. I do want to point out, if you get them through Ticketmaster, you pay a $3 processing fee to do that. But those are available for free at all of those venues.
Do you think it's going to be sold out? Can people get tickets at the door, or would you recommend getting them ahead of time?
I would recommend getting them at the
ahead of time.
Ahead of time, because I think as people start talking more about the recent news of the policies and so on that have to do with immigration, that people will get more interested in this discussion. And because Junot Díaz is actually featured in the film we're showing today, we get to actually see him in the flesh on the 22nd. So I think within the next couple of weeks, these tickets are going to be taken pretty quickly.
And they are free, and they're free of charge. Okay.
Free, yeah.
And will there be a question and answer period with this?
Absolutely, yes. So, Brian, do you want to talk about the format of the event?
Yeah, so Junot gives a very lively, interesting format. So I don't think it's what we think of typically as a keynote speech or a keynote talk. He takes questions from the audience. It's very interactive. He'll read a short passage from one of his books, but it really is, he really feeds off the audience.
Okay. Does he walk down in the audience among them with his microphone and get the questions from them?
I haven't seen him do that. We sometimes will curate the questions ahead of time so that he has something to go off of. But he does a lot of pacing and a lot of he's very interactive.
What time is this now?
This is at 7 p.m. on a week from today.
7 p.m. Monday, January the
22nd.
22nd.
Yes.
Okay. And that's going to be at Jesse Auditorium. It is free, but as they're saying, you should get your tickets ahead of time because there's a very good chance that it'll be completely sold out.
Yes.
Well, how can it be sold out if it's free? All the tickets will be gone. Okay. We're about out of time. Is there anything else you want to mention about Martin Luther King Day celebration?
Sure. For more information, please check the website. If you go to the diversity website of Mizzou, then you can see the MLK tab. And then also we will be giving out a community award at that event, which I think is something that we should all be proud of.
A community award?
Yes.
To one person?
To one organization.
One organization. Okay, but you're not going to tell us you're not going to tell us who that organization is now.
Not yet.
You have to come.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having both of you here, Stephanie and Brian, talking about the Martin Luther King Day events.
Thank you.
I'm so glad I know you, and I'm so happy that we do have these events in our community. Okay, we're out of time for today. Tomorrow, consumer news and insurance news. Something you'd like to hear or see? Drop me an email. I'd love to hear from you. pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.